Okay, it looks like the saddle is coming off. Took the crank off here. You got two bearings here. So I'm going to need to pull this Woodruff key here. Slide this pipe off, slide this off. Slide those bearings off and replace. Now, this shaft in here connects down here to this shaft with Woodruff keys via this coupler, which I don't see. It shouldn't be in this room anyway. Here it is. So this coupler goes on here and connects this shaft to this shaft. So we got the rear crank and the front crank. So I need to get, I'm missing one Woodruff key. This rear thing was just sliding in and out when I got the machine, the crank. So there's two new bearings to replace. I'm sure they're well, there's two, and then there'll be two more in here. Okay. I feel good about this. I think I will. These are 1/4-28 screws. So I'm going to get some 1/4-28 cap head screws and maybe weld a hook to them or a ring to them to screw in there and use it as a lifting point. But then again, I got all the straps, so I'll probably just wrap some straps around the body of this and move the chain hoist down here over the machine and lift that up. All I have to do, and only if I want to take it all the way off and away, is remove this rubber oil line. There is a plate up underneath here that holds like this. I can't get to any screws on that, but I think if I pull the apron out and up, I'm not sure if you can see that in there or not. Let's grab a flashlight. These plates also go on each corner and do the same thing. Okay, yeah, you can kind of see that rectangle service facing you. It's riding right on the bottom of the ways. And it's only about 2 inches long, and it's about 8 inches from this edge. So I just need to pull the apron out 8 inches, and then it'll be free. Oh man. You know, I try to get some sleep, and I end up coming out here, turn that crank, and I hear that grinding. Tell you what did it for me, and this is just out of my ignorance, I was worried about getting that shaft off of the nut on that crank. And, I've taken plenty of vices apart, and even a crank or two apart, to realize all I needed to do is pull this threaded collar out and unscrew the screw, as it were. I'll put that back in there temporarily. It's not going to get lost in this position. Okay. Unexpected progress. I'm going to turn this off so I can take this sweatshirt off, because I'm cooking in it. Okay, I got one bearing cleaned up. See, I'm getting a little clicking right here now. Let me flip it over. Yeah, if I can replace them for a couple dollars, I'll replace them. That was without oil, that spinning there. So let's this is my aluminum cutting fluid. It's only oil I have presently, believe it or not. Okay, there's all the bearings. Very chewy, crunchy, very smooth. This one clearly spins better than this one. This is a little noisy. Replace both of them. Okay, the one thing holding the table down now is center screen, a rectangle laying on its side with a circle on the left side of it. That is actually the saddle lock. So I should be able to unscrew that and possibly just pull that thing out. It is not screwed into anything other than the lock. Okay, there's nothing on this side holding it down. And here is the proportion valve that I spoke of. So releasing that rubber hose will free that, and it ought to be very straightforward. Who would have thought it? Oh, it's harder and harder for old man to get up. You know, some people I suspect might be jealous, you know, of me at work because I am retiring. But one thing about, you know, retiring, in order to do it, you got to be old. You know, I was born a young man, and I was told early on that youth was a wonderful thing, but it's wasted on the young. So, to all you that are somehow jealous or envious of my retirement, just keep in mind you have your youth. It's just a shame that it's wasted on young people. Okay, that's the saddle update. The other thing is I have a new area here to not so much to do tear down, but to bring, you know, the disassembled parts and keep them organized, you know, after they've been cleaned up, and you know, everything is kind of overflowed into this room, so I was forced to clean that table. I'm really itching to start running this machine again. You know, I got a recent new subscriber who's an admitted newbie, and he claims that he's benefiting from my videos, but I'd like to show him something current. You know, that he might be able to benefit from. Okay, let's go out with the shop mascots. Okay, just Steve Summers has the equivalent of this machine, and he also has the smaller version. And when he received the bigger machine, you know, he was the one big thing that he had liked about the upgrade was it had graduated dials on the cranks. So I've long suspected. So you have this little lock mechanism here, and I long suspected that these calibrated dials were supposed to turn, and then you could lock them at 0, and la-da-da-da. So what it looks like is there's a bushing in there with a set screw. Oh, there's the graduated dial. Now this one doesn't have the locking system. And there's also something else in here that you need to watch out for if you ever take one of these apart, and that's inside here. There's another one of those crooked shims. I have one of these on a much thicker version of this on my spindle on the power head. So that lays down in there, and then that bushing sits on top of that. Yeah, that's right. So if you're ever taking one of these apart, you don't want to lose that. But I suspect that locking mechanism will become apparent to me when I take this one apart. But just one at a time. Very pleased that I was able to unlock that mystery. Let me have that. And if anybody can tell me what the name of these are, and it's intentionally sprung, I would say. Not sure if you're seeing it or not. Yeah, it's probably coming out a lot better for you than it does for me. So let's go put that in a special place so I don't lose it while I'm polishing this. Gotta love it. What can I say? I love making things shiny. So that goes there, and the operator will be looking at it like here. It's gonna look nice. Okay, I'm going to reassemble the first crank that I disassembled, and this is the one that does not have the locking mechanism. Everything is lightly oiled. This surface here turns on this surface. Everybody in here? So, I don't know if this should go on before the bushing or after the bushing. We do have our spring-loaded washer in there. You have to trust me on that. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and put the spring-loaded washer in there now. And get these hairs off of me. And like I said, you can see the effect that has. And that simply, no keys, and that simply shafts onto that. And it'll all be held together when the shaft connects there. Now this has a set screw in it, and I wonder if, no, this is just a guess on my part, but I'm wondering, would that action have anything to do with removing backlash? That's my guess. Let me know if I'm thinking in the right direction here. Very happy with the shiny things. And this is the back of the machine. I think that's pretty evident. Okay, I'm going to reassemble this rear handle that I just cleaned up. So here's the casting for it, and this is the bearing that came with it, and I'm just going to put it back in there. It seems to turn just fine. It's not noisy, and it's probably not used a lot, actually. But I'm hoping well, we can always change it out later if we don't like it. I would rather have everything put back together so we know where everything is at that way. Now, this is there in the camera, and then there's the end. Get something up underneath there to keep it going in straight. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the vise. Where's the vise at? Okay. And we are going to okay. Now, I guess I didn't have a clear idea of the order of operations here. So, next will be the Woodruff key. These are all flat-bottomed Woodruff keys, and I need a bunch of them. They are, let's go to standard. There's 94 thousandths thick, 188 tall, and 480 long. So it's probably a 1/2 inch by 1/8 of an inch, or 80 100 thousandths. Yeah, whatever. So flat side goes in. Let's try putting the tall side. Okay, the flat side goes in the shaft. Are we seeing this? Okay, this is going to require some, maybe not. Let me get my hammer. Okay, the back side might be a little high. Okay, so that's going to go here. There we go. And this nut is going to go here. Okay. Are you with me here? Okay. And now this is going to come down and go on here. And that gives you your this needs to be adjusted a little bit. Well, maybe not. It was rubbing there a minute ago, but that gives you your graduations in and out. So I'm going to put that down. Let me examine that. And I can still reach in there. I will still be able to reach in here on this set screw and set the backlash if indeed that's what that setting is for. Otherwise, why would we have the possibility of this motion? Okay, why am I so loose? What's going on? Let me get an Allen wrench. And let me get a socket wrench, a ratchet wrench. Okay, that's tight there. Now, one thing before I get ahead of myself, this is going to be supported by the other shaft. And let me show you what I mean by that. a flat. Oh shit. So hold on a second here. Okay, so basically it'll look like this on the machine. This is the front of the machine. Okay, I want to thank people who've been leaving comments. I got a new subscriber. I want to mention him most importantly. And Jean-Paul and Daniel Abbey have been instrumental in the way this is progressing. Billy Bob, no, that's not it. I want to acknowledge a new subscriber. Greg Tate, Michael Rustinox, Max Grant, Maddie's Workshop, Bloop 68, Slow Motion, Bloop. A lot of times I get up in the middle of the night after 2 or 3 hours of sleep to urinate, and I end up coming out here in the shop and making a video, and I'm probably kind of wiped out and walking away from the camera. And I think that's what you might be experiencing. Amateur Redneck Workshop D, Gary Drafting. Can't read your writing. I need to know the name of your street. Longcasters, Ian, Burton Shaw, World Traveler, Fred Flintstone is here. HVAC1, Brian Block always has a kind word. It's, you know, what a community, you know. These guys have no business watching me stumble through this stuff, but they care enough about their craft, they want to see it progress, I guess, and that's what my channel is all about. It's about, you know, going on 2 years operating a mini lathe, and now trying to bring a cutter grinder back to a working condition. My typical Kimber Zelik is, well, I'm going to flip the grinder and get a nice lathe, you know, meaning a lathe with a gearbox and a power cross slide. But you know, as I'm taking this thing apart and learning about it, it's, you know, I'm missing a lot of parts to be able to do the things that I want to do with the machine. And right now, I believe all I'm going to be able to do is grind a shaft with the attachments that I have. I'd like to be able to grind cutting tools, sharpen end mills, and all that stuff, but I just don't have the attachments. But I hold on to the machine, keep working it, learning how to operate it. I think all those things will come. Yeah, the community is just, it blows my mind. It's really great, and I'm proud to be grateful to be accepted into this community. Okay guys, that's it for part 9 update on the cutter grinder, I guess. I retire on the 29th, I believe, is my last day of work. I'll make that the 30th of July, 2021. And am I excited? It's kind of like, you know, if you could start all over knowing what you know now, then that's kind of what it is for me, I think. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching.